Bruchot habaot, ladies. In the beginning of Parshat Vayakhel, the Torah Kedosha dictates to us the laws of Shabbat. We're told that 6 days of the week are rendered melacha, and on the 7th day it's kodesh, it's regarded holy. And then, following those few psukim concerning Shabbat, the Torah goes back to its original subject, which is the building of the Mishkan. The Mishkan was like a mini portable Bet Mikdash. And Chachamim ask, is there a connection between Shabbat and the building of the Mishkan, that the Torah places Shabbat next to the subject of the building of the Mishkan? So one answer is that the laws of Shabbat are derived from the melachot connected to the building of the Mishkan. There were 39 melachot associated with the construction of the Mishkan. Hence the avot melachot, the 39 primary laws of Shabbat, which from them are subdivisions of more laws concerning Shmirat Shabbat. Now, as a monumental task as it was to build the Mishkan, where we see the Shekhinah would dwell among the people, Hashem said that on Shabbat, all the work for the construction of the Mishkan has to stop. Why was it so important for HaKadosh Baruch Hu to proclaim this idea, to say, Shabbat, no building? Because we could think that since the Mishkan is such a holy binyan, such a holy edifice, so it must require a 7-day effort where even on Shabbat we have to work in order to build it. But the Torah says no. Shabbat is more important than the building of the Mishkan. We learned such an important principle, ladies. Mitzvot are only mitzvot because HaKadosh Baruch Hu commanded them. If it was not commanded by the Ribono Shel Olam, then it's not a mitzvah, even if you have good intentions. You might think you're doing a noble act, but if HaKadosh Baruch Hu forbids it, then all your good intentions and good-heartedness can chas v'shalom turn into a sin. Imagine if the Jews in the Midbar would say, we want to build a Mishkan for HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to have a dwelling place, because we want Him with us as soon as possible, so we're going to build the Mishkan even on Shabbat. Would that be considered a mitzvah? No. It would be considered an averah. If HaKadosh Baruch Hu didn't sanction a mitzvah, and we go against His word, even with good intentions, this is called mitzvah haba'ah al yedei averah. A mitzvah that was done through a sin. And the Gemara gives an example of this. A man went into his neighbor's field and he stole some wheat. He grinded the wheat, he made flour from the wheat, then he baked the chalot from the wheat. Then he took the chalot, he put it on his Shabbat table, sits down at his Shabbat meal, and he makes the most beautiful beracha of Hamotzi Lechem Min Haaretz, with all the kavanot of the Ari HaKadosh. Imagine? But the Gemara says, not only is this man not fulfilling the mitzvah of Lechem Mishneh on Shabbat, but he's considered a ganav, he's considered a thief. And the bracha of Hamotzi Lechem Min Haaretz is considered a big chilul Hashem. It's blasphemous. It's as though he's chas v'shalom ridiculing HaKadosh Baruch Hu. What? You think Hashem wants you to steal in order to do a mitzvah, in order to make a beracha? Absolutely not. So we see that even with the most holy intentions, if a person sinned in order to fulfill a mitzvah, it doesn't become justifiable. This is a mistake that many of us make. Sometimes we make our own calculations thinking that we can transgress one mitzvah in order to keep another one. But since the Torah is not our property and it belongs to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, we don't have the right to decide what we can and cannot transgress. We can't become the administrators of Torah and make decisions about what we can and cannot do. You know, people ask themselves, what good is going to come out of doing this mitzvah? But Chachamim say, maybe we should ask ourselves, by doing this mitzvah, is any bad going to come out of this? That's what the Torah is teaching us. Building the Mishkan is a great mitzvah. But HaKadosh Baruch Hu sanctioned that Shabbat is more important. You can't build a holy Mishkan at the expense of the holy Shabbat.